nervous?
No.
Where's your answer?
Dennis Beckham, let the ball on! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Dennis Beckham! Oh! Oh, no! Oh, yes! He missed it!
Welcome to the Suffering from Joy podcast. My name is Devan. It's been a while since we talked to you guys. I've been out of the country in the wilds of Scotland, so blame me for all that. But a lot of ups and a lot of downs. We're just coming off of a 2-2 draw against Minnesota United up in Minnesota. There again, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of hames. And we'll kind of unpack it all for you. But joining us today is Seth, who knows everything. Seth, how you feeling?
Feeling okay at this point. It's been an interesting last 2 weeks have been okay. Before that, it was in true WTF land. But, you know what? That's just the Austin FC experience, right?
Yeah, I kind of quit paying attention and half expected to come back to Nico being fired, but...
Wait a minute. You had expectations of
Yeah.
Nico Estevez being fired. I know you spent some time in England where they, in Scotland, where they fire managers in, 5 weeks. But, we don't do those things here at Two Oak Ventures.
Yeah, good point. We'll do the classic Black Panther meme. We don't do that here. All right. Well, also with us today is Scott. Scott, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's been like you said, it's had a lot of ups and downs. I'm glad that it's trending more up. But I will say this, even though the results aren't great, this team's at least enjoyable to watch. There's none of this 1-0, 0-0 Louis van Gaal at United ball that is just dreadfully boring and it puts everybody to sleep. We're at least scoring goals and it's fun.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about that too before. We'd rather have 2-2 games than lose 1-0. At least make it fun for us. Rounding out our group today, Brad, how you feeling?
Feeling okay. 7 out of the last 9 for points. I'll take as a solid little run here. Give you a little hope for the backside of the year, especially as we get healthy. Life's been pretty solid for the most part during our little break and hiatus away from the pod. And all in, we'll take wins. And also, the prospect of either Tottenham going down or West Ham versus Millwall next year in the championship are both hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to weigh in. I don't think there's any way in hell Chelsea does what needs to be done. And I've been saying it for weeks that Tottenham will stay up, and it's all Unai Emery's fault.
But the thing is, then you're going to get to a point where you end up being surprised and celebrating a Chelsea victory. How do you feel about this?
Conflicted. I
Sort
don't
of
really
Spurs
root for
fan yesterday.
Chelsea. I'm not...
The funniest outcome is the fact that, Tottenham drew today to Leeds, but Leeds somehow loses to West Ham on decision day, and that cost Tottenham. That's the funniest outcome here.
Ultimately, we're all in service to the funniest outcome, which is Tottenham going down, and we're having to make a lot of compromises for this to happen. So we're going to be very disappointed if it doesn't.
Well, the funniest is not just Tottenham going down; it's Arsenal winning a bunch of trophies at the same time. That is hilarious.
I mean, there is also the nightmare scenario.
For me or in general?
For you.
Yeah.
Although it's lessened now that Bayern are out, because there was always the chance that Harry Kane could win the Champions League against Arsenal, which have been banter forever, but that's all that Spurs could really banter about.
Deserved banter forever, as it will be if Tottenham Hotspur get relegated on sporting merit.
That away trip to Lincoln's going to be a killer.
Oh, God. I would love to go to that game, just to be with the fans and see if they have anything after Tottenham away, ole.
But also just the Tottenham to Millwall trip would also just, even though it's a very short trip, would be would they allow them to fill the lower bowl? I was watching the Hull Millwall match today, and they still have, there's this normal thing that you can do where you can allow the away fans to have the half of the lower part of the upper deck and half of that part of the upper deck, and then allow other fans there. But no, Millwall just lets thousands of seats go unsold in the lower part of the away end because security issues.
Yeah, I noticed that today too. I was like, what the hell's going on over here?
I mean, they've done that for decades now. They make this team, it's amazing that they were this close to the Premier League with no sense of, commercialism, capitalism.
Even Luton pulled it off. Come on, guys. I guess while we're doing a roundup too, we're shaping up to have a really nice final day in the SPL on Saturday.
Yeah, that should be very fun. I mean, Celtics scored one of the best goals that you'll ever see to beat Rangers this week. Like, it is. I did not understand the amount. I have a number of friends who are big Celtics supporters. The amount of hatred they have for Hearts, and realizing that like Hearts is just Rangers light, and like they are too much along with the monarchy. And it's like, yeah, it's a nice story, but like they're still part of the wrong side, and screw them. They should burn in eternal hell, and only Rangers deserves a greater level. They're in the 8th level of hell. Rangers is in the 9th level.
You know, the dad from Succession being a fan of Hearts in the show lines up perfectly now that I know that that's a monarchy team.
Well, yeah, so if you just need like a quick and dirty version of it, so you have in Glasgow, you have Celtic, who's kind of the like Catholic rebellious, and then you have Rangers, who are the like royalist unionists. And then if you port yourself over to Edinburgh, Hearts are Rangers and Hibs, Hibernian, are Celtic. So there's your easy primer. And yes, they do have all the accoutrement and violence and fan stuff. It's just not quite as big and celebrated. So there we are. I think I still want Hearts to win since nobody's won since 1985 besides Celtic and Rangers, but...
So the question is, if Hearts wins, which EPL team hires their manager?
Chelsea.
Who's rumored to be going after Xavi Alonso today.
I think they should hire Michael Carrick. Since we're going for funniest outcome. All right. I think we're good on the, around the world banter. Also, congratulations to Barcelona for another league title. Lamine Yamal now has as many as Cristiano Ronaldo La Liga titles. So, fun fact for you there. Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about what was a fucking bananas game. A nice little Sunday surprise for us. So, like I said, I've been kind of gone. I haven't been watching games as much, but what did we think of the starting lineup versus kind of how we've been doing things so far?
Right line what we have been doing. My only question and concern with the lineup over the last couple of weeks, and it's worked. 7 points in the last 9. I'm not going to complain, obviously, especially since we got all 6 at home. I don't understand where John Gallagher fits at left wing as a starter in this, with our options out there right now. I feel like when he's good at being a utility knife for us, and being the guy who can play a little bit everywhere, but when he gets the ball moving forward, especially, there's often an extra touch or two that slows down an attack. And from what I would like to see, I think I would actually rather see a CJ Foger out there on the left side, because that's his natural position in the first place. Offer you a little more speed out there too, and just a little. CJ, to me, his decision making when he's out on the left wing is faster than John at this point, and that's my only real criticism of the lineup over the last few weeks. Because to his credit, Nico is having to play with one arm tied behind his back for much of the year due to injuries. We're starting to get some of those guys back, but we won't see this team in its full health and what it can really look like until post-World Cup. And I'm okay with that. So all the folks who are out there saying, when's Brandon going to play more? When's Owen going to play more? When Danny's going to... You need to wait until we're back in action in July. Like, if Brandon plays more than 30 minutes before then, I'll be shocked. If Owen plays more than a half, I'll be kind of surprised. And that's okay. But yeah, that's my one thing with the lineup moving forward is I think I don't know where John Gallagher offers more than CJ Foger right now at the left wing.
Well, we got 3 games this week. Time to mix and match and play some rotation. Seth, what do you think?
I mean, I'm open to that approach. I mean, I think what's been most interesting is seeing Rosales as we signed him to be a left back in theory, maybe, kind of. I don't know exactly. Like going from the winger where it's like, okay, on the left he can be effective, on the right, waste of space, to being in the midfield and being pretty effective. And it's just like, okay, where does he actually fit into this lineup once Owen, Danny, and Brandon are actually healthy? Like, I'm very curious about where this comes together when this team resumes playing in July.
Yeah, I do wonder if Gallagher's out there as sort of like extra coverage for Rosales, kind of doing whatever he wants. I mean, he's doing a great job of it. I'm not complaining about it, but if that's sort of how the pieces fit together.
I think it is for the moment, but especially with it was interesting to me. So like we played 6 o'clock on yesterday on Sunday, and then we have an 8:30 game on Wednesday. We decided to fly back to Austin, but we have 2 in 2 days. Like this is a very quick window here. Like we're not going to be able to run out this starting 11. Like I assume someone like a Duberstarsky gets a start on Wednesday, but I'll be curious to see how Nico plays this set up with 3 matches there, or are we just like going to go all out to try to get 3 points on the road against San Diego, and assuming a B side can take care of Kansas City, that seems to be like a sort of a trap there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see some, but probably not as much as you're expecting rotation. Wouldn't shock me to maybe see Danny get a start again, depending on his fitness. Put him in for 45 or 60 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Rotating around. Scott, where are you at on our lineup?
I think with who's available, this is probably the best lineup. I think we kind of see the limitations of Gallagher as a left winger a lot, and at the same time, Rosales' emergence is solidifying a midfield that I think actually, when everybody's healthy, is going to be really, really good. When we can pair up him and Danny and Torres and Owen and kind of like I see a kind of like 4-2-2-2 setup with the four of them that I think could be really dynamic and really fun to watch. I think one of the more interesting things is how defensively we've definitely stayed with the same back four as much as health allows. And at the same time, we're not seeing great defensive results with that back four. There was a tweet that came out that somebody posted the stat that Austin was the only team to allow 200 shots on goal so far in this MLS season, and there's some teams that haven't even allowed 100, which I had to get as a Brad Stuber appreciation post. And so I'd like to see it's nice to have a settled back four, and at the same time, like you'd hope that a settled back four would have better results than we've had. And I think that's kind of where Nico might need to do a little more tinkering.
Yeah, and I mean, he'd probably say, well, that's what we sacrificed to go forward, but I'm with you. I think there's some holes just in general in the defense. Do we have an update on Heinz Eich at all? Because that looked like a out until after the World Cup injury to me.
I think you're right on that. We're going to be seeing, I think we get a midweek presser tomorrow before the match, so we should have, at worst case, we will have an injury report by 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and John Bell's a question mark?
Yeah, I mean, usually it takes 48 hours to clear concussion protocol, so question mark. I fully expect that we will see Djordjevic and Svatak as our starting center backs on Wednesday.
Maybe we'll slide Biru in, who knows?
Who knows? Maybe Rosales will actually play left back.
Yeah, stranger things have happened.
But yes, Minnesota threw us for a little loop there. We'll see what San Diego has. But San Diego can run out a bunch of 19-year-olds who have a lot of energy. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Scott mentioned rotation for this week versus Kansas City. Sorry, Seth, you did. I actually would say rotate midweek. See what you can do on the road. And get the points at home. Play your better lineup at home. And yes, KC sucks. I understand. However, there is something to be said for maintaining momentum at home, winning games at home for your fan base, versus if you don't play well on a Wednesday night on the road, your hardcores are watching, but you're also got to keep a lot of the folks who aren't staying up till 9:30 for a 9:30 kickoff on Wednesday night intrigued. And to me, I would go all out next week for the win. If you get a chance to guarantee yourself 3 points, or damn near guarantee yourself 3 points, you do it, in my opinion.
Counterpoint, this team, 29 teams in this league have won a match on the road this season. We are the supporters of the one team that has not done that yet on the road this season.
Yeah, I'm very much of the opinion, too, I guess, at this stage where I would like to bag as many points as we can, where I think we know we can get them, because we're not playing with a full deck, and we haven't all year. And I'll worry about road results more post-World Cup, but if we can go I think before this 3-game stretch that we just finished, leading up to the rest of what we have, if we had said we could get, so if we win the 2 home games that we have left, that would be 13 points. If we'd said we can get 13 points out of those, 6 games, most of us would have been pretty damn happy. So I'm at a prioritize home games position right now until we get past World Cup.
Yeah,
I think the match. Sorry, I think the match on Wednesday is kind of the trap game in this schedule. Partially because San Diego is the bad vibes team of the season, and also just the nature of Austin playing, other spoon contenders and Sporting and St. Louis City to round out the end of the break. San Diego hasn't won a home match since March 1st, and I think there's a little more hope in Austin getting a result on Wednesday than we think, because San Diego is they're going through the second year slump. They just are. And their front office and their coach and their star player and their fans are all at odds. And at some point, that does affect the product on the field. And we're seeing that now. This is a team that is lost.
Yeah. And I mean, we do only have one more home game. We have 3 games before the break, but I could definitely see kind of go out and try to scrap a goal and play a little, old school Nico ball.
No.
On Wednesday. I'm not telling you we should, but I can sort of understand where Brett's coming from here, where you take the 3 and then you got to think you can go to St. Louis and win there too on a week's rest.
Yeah, that's. I think you just look at the schedule, right, and play the schedule game of what's coming up. And you mentioned it, yeah, KC at home. You could absolutely go beat St. Louis in their house. We just beat them 2-0 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Seattle here is going to be tough. Seattle's always good, but Seattle's not until July, so you're playing a 3-game stretch here. If you're going to punt on one of the games, to me, it's the San Diego match.
I'm going to throw out the possibility that they're all professional fucking athletes and they should just play all the games.
I agree, but we also have to understand they're also still not robots, and we don't have a full depth of a roster to go compete just yet.
No, but we're not playing every 3 days either. Our schedules hasn't been supremely brutal or anything.
Fair.
And you're about to have 2 months off.
Yeah, I mean, that's the argument against not going out, is the fact that you do have 2 months off coming up. So you have plenty of time to recover and relax. And even if you pull a hamstring, you'll be back before we start playing again, right?
Yeah.
I think the most interesting thing about this team right now, though, is that I keep coming back to what we have not been playing with the full team so far this year. This is the deepest team that we've ever had, and it's starting to show up. You mentioned Scott Rosales and where's he going to play once everybody's back healthy. Gallagher absolutely moves to the bench once everybody's back. You have a guy in Christian Ramirez who's been a phenomenal low-cost signing for this team, who is at best a super sub or maybe a midweek starter moving forward. This becomes a really interesting team with a lot of options off the bench down the road.
Yeah, and you'd hope, especially with our knack for giving up late goals, that you start being able to use that bench to make some impact subs and kind of turn that around and start scoring on other teams instead of just giving up soft goal after soft goal late. So hopefully the World Cup will break us of that habit, but should we go through the major events of the game? All right, so early on, we get a penalty. Taylor Twellman is the only person on the planet that can't see that this is a very, very clear penalty. At least that's my opinion. It was straight down the
I can't believe I'm going to defend Taylor Twellman for a second, but he is on the angle of the side that you can't see, that he couldn't see. When he sees that replay in real time, he's even Taylor Twellman's oh, fuck, I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he did eventually get there, but he was just literally saying, well, you can't see it hit his hand as the ball is hitting the guy's hand, and you can see his wrist bent back on the replay. It wasn't a good look, but it's all right. For me, this is straight down the checklist, arms in an unnatural position, away from the body, ball going towards the net, clearly hits the hand. Easy penalty. Any thoughts here from you guys?
As clear as one gets.
I mean, except in UEFA refs, but we don't need to discuss that.
Yeah, no, I guess we should have opened this with I have no idea what a handball is, because nobody has any idea what a handball is, but I'm pretty sure that was a handball.
Yeah.
Got any thoughts?
Azuni actually scored the PK. Yeah. Also, our first PK of the season.
Yeah. It was a good penalty too. I was not happy to see him take it, but put the ball away. So
I will say one of the funniest things was that the flash score alert initially came through that Ramirez scored the PK, not Azuni. I was like, wow, that would be. I'm like, I'm watching this right now. I mean, obviously it was just a mistake, but it was a very funny mistake.
But this is a new Uzuni we have who has confidence and actually looks like a professional soccer player. So
I liked his little stutter at the beginning of the run up because it both included a stutter and also didn't affect his actual rhythm of hitting the ball. And we see, we complained so much last year about his missed penalties, and this just actually was a good penalty. Like, he clearly had a plan and just followed it.
Missed penalties.
Yes, missed penalties.
Open Cup final and the playoffs.
I mean, to be fair, Kelvin Yeboah had as many missed penalties just in this game as Azuni did last season. So
technically, he only missed one, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice penalty. Ball goes in, everyone's happy, and then we get the penalty incident on the other side, which does feel a little makeup call-y to me. But you look at it and you're like, well, fouled him. He kind of bear hugged him. Like, yeah, it doesn't get called a lot, but can't really complain about it. Where are you guys at on this one?
Well, the moment I saw the replay, I had no problem with it.
Yep.
You just said the words. He bear hugged him. Like, you can't do that. I'm sorry, but it's. I know guys get away with it all the time, but it was pretty obvious that was going to get called.
Yeah, kind of in the play stupid games, win stupid prizes category. Seth or Scott, any thoughts on the award? Because I'm sure we're going to spend 5-10 minutes talking about this whole bananas ass shit that happened.
I was going to say, like, it was a penalty. It's fine, and then the shenanigans happened.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think really determines whether this is a penalty or not is the quality of the pass in and whether or not the player can actually make a play on it. A lot of times you see the player kind of like not dive but embellish and go down, but you're kind of like, it's kind of like the NFL like uncatchable ball thing. Like, unless you suddenly gained like 2 feet to your vertical, you weren't getting that ball anyway. And this was a pass that was actually like clearly to this player. He gets taken out. To me, it's a penalty.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was hoping there was no controversy on that one. So Kelvin Yeboah steps up, and I'm going to go ahead and soapbox here a little bit and say the coming off your line rule is complete fucking bullshit on the stoppy-starty, oh, I'm not technically at a complete stop, penalty, skippity-hoppity bullshit. So, I mean, it's a great double, triple save. They eventually kind of like snuff the ball in. I thought actually like the player who shoots it in shoots it off of another player who was offside, so I was hoping that was going to end up being the call. But Stuver was off his line. They encroached. Where are we at so far for you guys? Are you like losing your minds, or are you like, yeah, okay, that was the right call, which I think it kind of was, but where are we at on the initial penalty take? How did it make you feel?
I think Stuver was technically off of his line, and I think they also encroached on the box, and it's a rare like offsetting penalty rule, and it just kind of goes to show a general like. I don't know. I think these are two teams that care about set pieces in a way that other teams don't. I think Minnesota's kind of always had this has had this reputation ever since Ramsey took over. I mean, he's left, but they still have the remnants of that. And to me, this is just another sign of the referee kind of not having complete control, because I think everybody felt like they could test him and get away with it.
Oh yeah, he had no clue what was going on, at least in the first half that I saw. So, yeah, he had no control on the game, but I mean, it does feel a little unfair that like the cancel out is just another penalty when he missed the first one. Especially when, Stuver being off his line didn't really affect the play at all because it was just a weak ass tap penalty.
Well, and also Yeboah, I was just talking about the Zuni stutter, but like his attempt at stuttering and stopping legitimately ruined his rhythm. Mm-hmm. And that's part of why it was such a weak penalty. And it just, he's a big guy who can score, and I just like pick a side and just go for it. Like, there's no reason to do this.
Well, he tried that, Scott, and it didn't work.
he tried it on the second one after Stuver was already in his head. Like, I felt like this was actually a like credit to Stuver that he felt like he needed to try to trick him in some way that he couldn't just beat him. And yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that you like while you're watching the run up, you're just like, oh, this is gonna miss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had that feeling the whole time. I always love when you watch like a shootout and you're like, that guy's gonna miss, and then he just either like smokes it over the bar, like completely terrible penalty, and you're like, all right, well, I don't know how the coach didn't see that, but yeah, Brad kind of alluded to it. He steps up for the retake and he just absolutely smokes it off the bar. Ball gets cleared out. Ball don't lie, maybe a little bit on the retake, but yeah. So we survive that, and then we keep playing. But that was a good sign that this game was going to be like really, really, really fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with this game being as insane as it was is that it was light the entire game, and I don't think that's allowed. But I guess actually this year, 2026 MLS has brought us the most chaotic form of MLS that we never knew existed, which was Toronto during lunch. And I feel like we had Austin during dinner over here last night, which is sort of our equivalent of Toronto during lunch, even though we did get Toronto during lunch. And Toronto during lunch 3-3 was also pretty crazy, too.
Well, we have something to aspire to.
I feel like the league owes the rest of the country an apology for making Austin the like Sunday night soccer game of the week 2 straight weeks. I don't know. We're not.
No, but like they actually got to watch entertaining games.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
I was actually kind of surprised that it was allowed to have a team play back to back, because usually a lot of TV deals don't allow things like that.
Well,
we're on national TV at 8:30 on Wednesday too. So.
Now, going back to the crazy first half, there were 6 cards. 3 were for dissent on Minnesota, which I don't think I've ever seen 3 yellow cards for dissent on the same team and a half before. And to be fair, kind of deserved. Austin had they had a forced sub going out, and that's part of how we ended up with 12 minutes of extra time and a half when you only play 45.
Not just 3 for dissent and a half in the first half. Like, you see some games get kind of crazy towards the end, and you're like, all right, well, half the bench gets red carded or yellow carded or something. But like in the first half in a 1-0 like May MLS regular season game, that was nuts.
Also, the other crazy thing I saw in rewatch today was Minnesota quickly took a free kick while their player was still down injured, which made me laugh because they were clearly trying to just like get it going, but then one of their attackers was down.
Yeah. And I mean, we do get the 12 minutes, and I don't know where that came from. I kind of mentioned this before we were on the air, but the only thing I can think of is like that entire period of like the penalty call against us until that ball hits the bar on the second take. They took that entire chunk and added it on. Otherwise, I have no idea where the hell 12 minutes came from.
No, because a penalty kick is still added into stoppage time. If you are following the laws of the game, that is not active game time.
Yep.
So we had like 7 minutes there, but with that whole incident.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's a penalty and a goal and a review and some other stuff from ours.
We had multiple cards. We also had a sub. We also had 12 minutes felt right.
I was just surprised to see it up on the board.
No,
Maybe I got too used to watching Champions League, where first half is always one or two.
Yeah. I did have to laugh that right before this, Barcelona Real Madrid had in El Clasico had no stoppage time in the second half of a 2-0 match. Then again, they weren't really playing the last 20 minutes. It was kind of dull stuff.
It didn't look like they were playing kind of the whole game. Like
it was like once Barca scored, I was like, okay, this is over.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Real Madrid practices are more entertaining than Real Madrid games at this point.
It's true. Talk shit, get hit. All right, but we did, somewhere in that morass of 12 minutes, we did lose Heinz Ike and bring on John Bell. Looked like he popped a hammy or something, like classic, 2 to 4 weeks. We're not going to see him until after the World Cup, but who knows for sure. And I don't know why you would risk him either, unless he's like 100% fine. Because that's how you actually do damage to those, is, you push him over and over. So... could be some interesting center back stuff going on. And then at halftime, I left to go watch FCito. So I'm going to let you guys run down the second half a little bit, but I did watch the highlights.
I was going to say, I hope you didn't stay till like 1 a.m. at FCito for the last 10 minutes of that match.
No, they kicked us out at like 10:30 or 11, and they were like, no, it's just going to be a forfeit. They're not going to play tonight, and so you guys got to leave. And we were like, all right, whatever. We were kind of just waiting out the rain at that point anyways. But
I've known for 3 days that it was going to rain, around 8 o'clock or so on Sunday night. Why in the hell did they not move that kickoff time?
Maybe Pop-Stroke wouldn't let them.
Who are you really competing with to watch people go for the game?
People playing bad mini golf.
Well, I have bad mini golf down the street here. They built one in Cedar Park.
Well, maybe they should build a soccer stadium there too.
Yeah, but even still, like,
with blackjack and hookers. You know what? Screw the soccer stadium.
I mean, but just move the game. There are major league games that got moved last week in baseball because of weather that was coming in. If they can do it, I promise you, second division soccer can, or third division soccer. Excuse me.
They move FCTO games all the time. Like last year, they scheduled a bunch of games at like 6 p.m. in August, and they're like, "Wait, that was fucking stupid," and pushed them to later when the sun was down. So it's not like it's unprecedented either.
It's just so bafflingly stupid to me that no one took the 5 seconds to look at the weather app, or I don't know, call your TV partner down the street here in the city and say, looks like this is going to be bad.
Get Avery Tabasco on it.
I mean, isn't this also the league that was having 5:30 p.m. Friday starts last year?
I mean, this is a league that has played games this season at 11 a.m. on a weekday.
All right.
But you know what?
But you know what?
I
We have
break
16
that. That's
points
minor league
from
shit.
8 matches.
Like 11 a.m. weekday kickoff is some minor league ass shit. Like that's what happens in hockey sometimes. I've called many a baseball game at 10:30 or 11 a.m. on a Tuesday or a Wednesday so those kids could come out. Like I understand that more than I understand not looking at the damn weather and moving the game 2 hours.
I don't know. Maybe you should write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, because they listen to me so much around here.
Yeah. Well, they're more likely to listen to you than to me, so got that going.
Doubtful. I'm pretty sure there's a file on me at the front office.
I know I have one. We're not going to get into it.
New podcast goal. All of us get a file.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm probably the only one.
It's a nice file.
The second half I thought was like pretty even until Minnesota made subs, and Nico kind of talked about this in the press conference. But once James came on, and they kind of overloaded the right side, that was really where their success came. Even though the first goal was him drifting off to the left to just kind of do that classic like dunk over the defender on the back post by Markinich, and then the second one was really just like a really great interplay between Perea and James again. And you can kind of see how like you can see the vision of why they brought him in, because they are lacking other creativity in the team, and they need somebody like that. And it's going to be really bad for them if he does not stay for the season.
Yeah, first one I think is, well, didn't he already say he's retiring after the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean,
that was false.
Luis Suarez announced that he was available for selection for the Uruguay team as well. Like, I take players' retirement announcements with a grain of salt.
He did not announce that. He did a press conference last night saying that was false and he didn't understand where it was coming from. That was for like clicks and likes or something.
Okay, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But...
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the first one is a classic of the Austin FC nobody at the back post genre. I don't think we need to deep dive that one. The second one, and Seth and Bradway in here, felt a little more like we intentionally turned ourselves into chickens to be herded instead of playing defense. Like, it's a great pass, but why is it open?
Yeah, Owen Wolf didn't stay with the pass. Like it was the give back towards the right side, but in the box rather, and then all three guys. It was kind of like Little League when the ball goes somewhere and the entire team floods to the ball.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it was that. And somebody in the game chat last night was like, well, John Bell's got to get out there faster. No, John Bell was covering tracks because Owen didn't stay with the passer. Like that was the initial pass, rather. Then I forgot who scored the goal, but that's who I'm talking about here.
Yeah,
Pereira.
Yeah.
Who was it? Sorry.
Joaquin Pereira.
Yeah, sorry. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's just rust because he hasn't been playing much. Somebody losing track of where they're supposed to be. I don't know, but it was pretty egregious and can't happen at this level.
Yeah, I mean it's a little shit happens, but it's poor defending. Seth, where do you land on this? Like great play, great pass, poor
I mean, it
defending.
was it was a good pass that was poorly defended, and it looked like it was. I know Owen is obviously getting himself back into health, but like it was like, hey, do you remember how to play soccer after this injury? Like it was a little out of place there, and overall it was like. But those are the types of goals that Nico Esteves teams consistently get beat on.
Yep.
Do you think it's part of Owen's new haircut?
No, I think it is that he's played 20 minutes of competitive soccer this season.
All right. Well, if you want to be reasonable about it, fine.
No, I mean, hey, Christian Rivera's got a new haircut, and he's been playing much better since his new haircut. What do I know?
Yeah. And he ends up scoring the equalizer for us.
Yeah.
So, walk us through that, Scott, if you will.
I think this is the kind of the definition of a scruffy goal.
Yep.
And just a striker's goal where a ball just finds him and he's able to kick the ball in the general direction of the goal, and then positive things happen and it scores. Because you cannot tell me that he intentionally hit it off of two different Minnesota players to where it softly fell over Cavender's head.
No, but we've been asking for this for years. Shoot the fucking ball. That's why I love this goal.
Yep.
It's just a lucky, hey, this thing came to me, and guess what? I'm going to whack it at the goal, and something good might happen. So, any other thoughts here, Seth or Brad?
No, it's just
I will say that he had one of the funniest Instagram posts about this goal. That he posted the video of him scoring the goal to the background music of Wonderwall.
nah.
Well done.
And called it saying it was great feedback in Minneapolis.
My favorite thing about the goal is the fact that there was a Columbus Crew fan Twitter account today quote tweeting Austin FC Communications about the goal and being upset that they have let a player like Ramirez go as well, and now he's now here. Just makes me happy.
Good. Joy is why we do this. He says, remembering the Arsenal West Ham game yesterday, where there was no joy. Briefly, when Trossard scored, and that was it.
No, there was joy after Pigmo made an announcement. If I had told you those words,
there was no time for joy at that point. It was lock in and don't go into cardiac arrest.
we are glad that you're still with us.
Yes, thank you. It's been a trepidatious 36 hours or so. And we do get John Bell at the end, who's held out for concussion protocol. I didn't see the incident, but I'm always happy when they're actually like, no, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, I think,
like Julian Edelman, get your ass back out there. Yeah, you can count a apple tree.
Or Jude Bellingham in the match over the weekend.
Yeah.
the most interesting thing about that, though, is I didn't know they held the opposing team's non-concussed player out as well on the head clash until it got back to 11 on 11, which worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't expect to see him on Wednesday, but maybe back for the weekend, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah.
But any other notes on the game, or do we want to kind of move into format?
So I guess the question is, who from FCTO gets an emergency call-up on Wednesday when FCTO is also playing in Colorado?
Good question.
Probably.
Because I only see him having 2.5 healthy center backs. What do you say?
I was going to say, that's just the center back portion. I was going to say, does Alistway have any calls? But it wouldn't make a difference for me to get back line.
Yeah, because he's played 2 matches. But, the center back, yeah. Joseph Rosales, Austin FC's new center back.
I mean, do we see Biru at center back on Wednesday night?
No, I don't
I was going to say Beer, and I think we're more likely to see either a back 5 or we'll see Kolmanich in a back 4.
Yep, that's where I was thinking. FCTO doesn't really have any call-up level guys at center back.
I forget John Kolmanich is on this team at least 4 days a week.
It's his superpower. I have his fucking jersey right here, and I forget that he's on this team.
Keep getting them checks.
I mean, he's enjoying his life in Austin. Like, no hate, man.
Yeah.
Making a decent living. Sometimes have to play soccer. Yeah, I think we'll see something along those lines, a little creative, where either Djordjevic plays or Biru tucks in, and we get a little weird with it.
Yeah, George. I also forget Djordjevic is on this roster as well. So there you
Do
are.
you know who is on our roster?
I should,
Like
but considering Nico doesn't play most of them, it's kind of tough to remember.
Yeah. All right. Any other news or notes we want to hit on? Nothing big. We'll do format, and then maybe we'll do some kind of overarching discussions of the month that's happened. Stock rising. I'm going to let Seth go first.
I think I got to go with Mirto Uzuni. I mean,
Yep.
he has looked like a TAM level player over this last month, which a TAM level player compared to what he had been in the past is a stock rising. This is all about relative rising and falling, and he has been the relative most rising player on Austin FC in the past month.
Yeah, I think it's a good call, and we're all happy to see him actually playing up to, a fairly decent level. Scott, how about you?
I'm actually going to go with Nico Estevez because he correctly identified that Azuni is not a out and out nine, and he needs to play as a secondary striker. And for a team that was struggling to score goals, he came up with the obvious solution of I need to put more strikers on the field.
Yes, throw more attackers at it. Always the solution. Brad, how about you?
I liked what I saw out of when we got to see all three play together. Owen, Danny, and Faku in the midfield yesterday was really entertaining, and I thought promising for what could be in the second half of the season once they're all healthy, because there was some ball movement and off-ball movements that were opening up passing lanes and running lanes that were new and intriguing that I don't think we've ever really had.
Yeah, I'm excited to see an actual full midfield in after the World Cup and see what we can do with it. And it sounds like Nico's not going to put the shackles on, so maybe we'll have some fun with it. I'm going to go for Christian Ramirez. I thought about doing Stuver on penalties, but he's already pretty high in that esteem. But I mean, we pick up a guy on waivers basically, and he kind of unlocks Azuni. He's scoring goals. I don't know what else you could want on a guy you pulled off the scrap heap.
I'm very curious to see what we're paying him once the salaries come out.
Yeah, and I'm also going to be curious to see, does he play with Vasquez? Do we kind of rotate him and Vasquez as Vasquez gets his, feet under him more, how that whole rotation works out? Because what we're doing right now seems to be good for Uzuni, so
yeah.
Who knows? Stock falling, we'll go back to Scott.
My stock falling is going to be Austin FC's training staff. We already had to have, I believe, 5 injury subs in the first half in not that many games, and that at some point just becomes kind of worrisome. It's kind of nice. We were talking about having depth, but at the same point, one of the reasons we know we have depth is because of all the injuries happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, but also, again, it would be nice to have those guys as, bench options or rotation and not just, hey, we can stick in another emergency plug here.
Yeah.
Brad, do you want to go next?
Nico's reputation as a defensive coach. That was his bread and butter. It's always, we are going to be defense first. We're going to, not usually give up more than one a game type thing. And Scott mentioned it earlier. We've given up the most shots in MLS by a mile. We had the 2 clean sheets at home, but we're pretty consistently giving up almost 2 goals a game in a lot of games, it seems like. I worry about this team's ability to outscore people, because it feels like that's what they're going to have to do, as opposed to win 2-1, 1-0 type games the rest of the year.
Well, hopefully we got enough firepower to do it. I still think we haven't seen the best of Torres, Faku, so...
Yeah, but Faku is mostly, I think we can score a few more goals. We could set up more assists. But, where I was going to lean to is just, our backline shape doesn't look like much of a line. I mean, Svatak has been kind of terrible this season. Heidijk has regressed from his previous season. This back line is not good.
Biru plays where Biru wants to play.
What's that?
Biru plays where Biru wants to play.
Yeah.
And it's just this. There is no defensive identity to this team. and there's sort of an offensive identity now, which is good, which is more than I expected. But like, this team should get carved up by like if you have a solid attacking presence, you should score 3 goals against this team. There's a reason why we've had the most shots against goal. I mean, teams have taken more shots against us than they've taken against Sporting Kansas City, and now Stephen Cleveland, who probably has lost a starting job after giving up 6 goals on Saturday night.
Well, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound great.
It's not.
It is not. It is fixable, though. So hopefully they get that tightened up during the World Cup break. Seth, what's your stock falling?
I mean, I was leading into it there. It's just like the overall backline shape.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a question of if you had told me at the beginning of this season, hey, Austin is going to score in every away match so far this season and not have won a match, I would have looked at you like you had 5 eyes.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go for referees named Penso having control of the game. An obscure Jeopardy category. But I feel like every time we've gotten Chris or Tori in the past, 6 months to a year, the game, not necessarily to say like they've done a bad job, which they have, but you have to control the game, and it just seems like it always turns into like some fucking insane melee, which is fun to watch, but that's not really what you want out of a referee. And also, we didn't talk about the refs, so I had to throw it in there.
Sorry, not to derail the format too much, but what are the chances that a referee named Penso starts an international incident during the World Cup?
Wasn't Tori selected as a World Cup ref?
Yes.
Both of them were.
Oh.
But I believe Chris is on VAR or not. He's not a lead official.
Yeah, I thought they were both like 4th official or lines person or something.
We'll pull it up.
Is World Cup VAR also going to be in Arlington?
Is it also going to be?
I think World Cup VAR is on site.
Yeah.
Well, that's way less fun.
Yeah, so I'm pulling this up here. So Tori is a first official on this. Tori and Alfatha are the only 2 Americans that are first officials. And then Chris is... No, I don't even think Chris is an official.
Yeah,
Chris is on... Chris is on... No, Chris is not.
Yeah, I didn't remember him getting selected.
I was going to say, because they have for the assistants are Corey Parker, Kyle Atkins, Catherine Nesbitt, and Brooke Mayo. So we will have an all-female crew, which is kind of cool again. And then on VAR is Joe Dickerson and Armando Villarreal.
Okay. So, not all bad. It's going to get CONCACAF-y.
It's going to get... The question is are we going to have a pitch incident that is worse, or is it going to be officials that are going to be worse? And also, like, with how the World Cup counts stoppage time, I expect to see a +20 in one of these matches at one point.
Yep. Well, especially with our... now that we've divided the game into quarters.
Yeah. We're going to have an automatic +3 in all of this. And then someone is going to pass out due to heat exhaustion at one of these games, and it is going to be a international incident.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I need to buy a fiddle to watch while the World Cup burns, but we'll see. It's going to be a shit show in every way, shape, and form. I mean, Qatar was terrible off the field, but on the field, the product was pretty good. I don't think we're going to get that.
I think we will have some good matches.
Yeah.
But there will be also, like, people are going to be like, what? Wait a minute, there's a 4-hour flight between Dallas and Toronto? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It'll be a fun time. All right, let's go ahead and do Moment of Suffering. Brad, you want to go first?
Well, it kind of hit it on already, but it was the moment I saw the name Penso next to the sheet for refereeing for this match.
Yeah, what you pay for, I guess.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Seth, you want to go next?
Yeah, my biggest moment of suffering was seeing that first ball that James hit for the assist. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, we're within a month of the World Cup. He remembers how to play soccer for these 2 months. It's like, oh, we're getting one of those games. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I wasn't happy he made it onto the pitch because I knew something like that was going to happen. Scott, how about you?
I was going to say listening to Taylor Twellman attempt to call a game, which, yes, we made fun of, but that's just one of a dozen things that he got wrong, including, I'm fairly sure, mentioning Chris Penso as a World Cup referee.
Okay, well, that's where we got that. We'll blame Taylor.
But the question is, who here worked on Chris Penzo's campaign to be the mayor of Dover, Ohio?
Was that during your career as a state trooper, Seth?
Yeah.
So
You know, I mean, the FOP couldn't win the election. I have questions here.
So instead of a recount, do they go to VAR for that too, if you need be?
Pre-VAR era, unfortunately. They go to Dogvar.
Upon further review, the ballots arrived 4 minutes after. Therefore, this ballot is not allowed.
Please don't give
However,
your ideas. Ugh. Mine is the entire VAR process of the Arsenal West Ham game, and we're not going to go into it because, as I said, I almost fucking died. Like, I've been hit by a car and had like a lot of weird, like, violent shit happen to me. That was the worst thing and the closest I've ever felt to dying. So,
Are you going to feel any sense of joy on May 24th?
I don't know. I will keep you guys updated.
Or is it just going to be like a sense of relief at this point?
I don't know. I literally don't know like where I'm at because like when I was gone, it was kind of like, oh, you know, like whatever, you know, like we'll kind of try to watch the games, but if we don't, it's not a big deal. And then I got back and I got immediately back into like locked in crazy mode, and I was just like, oh shit, I forgot this was gonna happen.
Yeah, just wait for the 6-day stretch of May 24th and May 30th for you though. It's not just the one day anymore.
I've said it all year on the show. If we win the league, I don't give a shit about anything else.
He says that until after they win the league, and then May 30th comes around.
No, but like honestly, like those like I think there is a little bit of this, but like also to defend him at a point, like PSG is going to drop 4 or 5 goals on them at a certain point. Like those players are going to be so hungover from winning the league. Or if they lose to Burnley, then the funniest thing on earth could happen.
Well, and it's also like this is all PSG has been going for all season. Like they have guys who you would think would be starters who started like 9 league matches all season. Like this has been their goal the entire time because they don't have to try that hard in Ligue 1.
Other teams in the French league have been like, yeah, we'll just play another time so they don't have to play the weekend before their Champions League games. Like that's fucking nuts to me.
Yeah, but it's also, and I'm not rooting against Arsenal per se, but it's objectively funny if PSG wins this after the whole Messi experience and everything like that.
No, they won last year. Fuck them.
No, but like, it's sort of the point of like this team. I mean, if you remember during the Club World Cup. Oh wait a minute, none of you guys were watching the Club World Cup, but
that was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I had a free ticket to PSG versus Inter Miami, and watching PSG run their actual starting 11 out and just pass around Inter Miami for 45 minutes to score 4 goals was one of the most entertaining displays of, oh, yeah, this is double A ball here.
Yeah, what you guys are forgetting is that we have Mikel Arteta, and we're not going to let this be a fucking soccer game. It's going to be 60, 70 minutes of fouling and kicking and playing around the back, and there will be no breaks, there will be no open space, and then maybe we'll try to play 20 minutes of soccer at the end.
No, but the thing is, if you guys haven't been that, like, they create space that no other team in the world can create.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we played them last year, so it's not like it's completely unfamiliar.
Yes, but it's still, I mean, they're fresher.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if PSG plays to their maximum ability, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team in the world is, which is...
I also think that a hallmark of Arsenal this year is that they've not let other teams play the way they want to play. Like this is why I think Arsenal has a chance, is because they are very good at what they are trying to do, which is why they're leading the league right now. And I don't think PSG is going to exactly know how to go against that because, we were talking about this during the Bayern match in the semifinal, but like Bayern tried to play fast break soccer against them, and you can't beat them doing that. They're too good at it. And so I think Arsenal has a better chance just stylistically because they're going to do something different.
Yeah, and I mean, what Bayern didn't realize because they're Bayern is that PSG is going to shoot the lights out of the gym even better than they are. So yeah, I mean, it's one game. We'll see what happens. But clearly, I think the betting odds and the eye test would show you PSG is probably the favorite, right? So we'll see.
But they play the game for a reason.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about the past month. I mean, we've done the latest game, and we kind of had some bits before that, but in the long ago, before our last episode, we were still in U.S. Open Cup, and it got bad.
Yeah, it did.
So how bad were the vibes during that whole week of losing?
Bad.
And
Very
losing
bad.
badly.
I mean, it was. I don't think it was losing the San Antonio level bad because it wasn't that type of match. There's difference between losing if we look at the score lines, both those games were 2-1 losses. But San Antonio was a gut-wrenching 2-1 loss in front of 500 traveling plus supporters. It was a match that we had the lead in. Louisville kicked our ass.
Yeah, it should have been worse.
I think I'm glad I missed it.
It should have been worse than 2-1. Loss made a few saves that kept it from being 3-0, 4-0 in the first half. It was that bad. And following it up with, a league loss right after and continuing the run of form that we were on, we drew right after that. It was that weird Toronto game. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Which, before the San Jose game a week later where, we gave up 4 goals in the span of a blink of an eye.
Right to jail.
Yeah. There was legitimate and I think very real justified talk about, even in press conferences, Nico was starting to get asked about his job. And I don't think that conversation there is off the table just yet. Yes, we're in a nice run of form right now, but we're still below the playoff line. Let's not go crazy here. But the way the team played, the lackluster effort in Louisville, and it was a lot of effort that just wasn't there in Louisville. Damian Loss felt like one of the only guys who showed up looking to play that day. And then the total collapse in San Jose, there was real concern, man, while you were gone about what the hell is this team becoming.
Yeah, the 4 goals in 10 minutes or whatever it was, that can't happen. That's the team quits on you.
That was the word that night. Was the Q word was absolutely out because we absolutely quit that night.
I mean, it seems like to some level he's got him back, but once they quit on you once, you're never too far away from going back.
I think there was a solid week or two, and I think that had we not gotten a win against Houston, which I think was the first of the two, I think it would have gotten really bad. I think losing away at Louisville just looked really bad after all of our results, and then the San Jose game, especially when they were 10 minutes of extra time in the second half when they were down 5-1, and all of us were just like, "Why are we doing this?" Who are still up watching at midnight on a weekday. I'm not sure it could have gotten to a low. I mean, sorry, it definitely can, but I'm hoping that the San Jose match is the low point of the season, and that we continue on through it. And at the same time, I also see the argument of, oh, these guys are injured. He doesn't have all his guys. It's going to be a much different team. But I still think it's just Nico's a mediocre manager. And at some point, you just have to look to upgrade with who's available. And Austin seems very hesitant to attempt to do that during the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a question of he has a contract that runs through the end of this season. And I think that he will have that unless something terribly goes wrong. That the second we are eliminated from the playoffs, even if we make the playoffs, unless we win a round that's not the play-in round of the playoffs, that he won't have a job next year.
I'm not convinced of that. I think if he makes the playoffs, even if we get run in the first round, he's back next year. With the excuse of he didn't have half the season and look at the back half. I'm just saying, given our history and how much of a leash we tend to give coaches as an organization, I think that's going to happen.
I mean, if we win a game in the round of 3, maybe I could see that happen. But if we lose in the playoffs like we did last year, he absolutely does not deserve to have a job coming back.
Deserve and will he be here are two different things.
Yeah. I get the point Brad's making.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's the front office, not like we would have fucking all fired him already. So.
We would have
fired
hired
him.
You've been unanimous on this point.
I would have fired him.
And I think this is also
the bank at Wilfred Nancy the moment he got fired from in the Scottish League.
Yeah,
but that's me.
Yeah, I was going to say this because we were kind of talking about like where the Hearts coach was going to end up, and sometimes it is about like who's available. And to me, like just like what Brad said, like Wilfred Nancy's available. Like there's no reason I would hope that Precourt wouldn't at least like, or Barella, whoever's calling the agent, to be like, what's he thinking? Like, is he wanting to coach again this year? Like, is he wanting to take some time off? Is he waiting for a different job? Like, kind of a thing. Like, I would hope that phone call happened.
Yeah, and if it didn't, it's malpractice. Like, if he tells you, like, if his people tell you, look, he's waiting to get another job in Europe, okay, then fine, hold out, see if we got something better. He may not have it. But if he said he would entertain an offer, you find out what that number needs to be and you go make that offer. There are very few coaches I think you can say that about in this sport. But in this league specifically, a proven guy like that, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, proven multiple times over. And I mean, my first question whenever people are like, we should fire X, Y, and Z is, who are you going to replace him with? That answer is right there. Yeah. And I mean, maybe there's behind the scenes, like he doesn't want to coach until after the World Cup, or he wants to take the season off. Fine, if that's reality, that's reality. But like Brad said, if we're not at least, calling him every week, like, hey man, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing our jobs.
Yeah. Hell, maybe he wants to be the U.S. men's national team coach after this cycle. I don't know.
I don't know why you would, but maybe he does.
I mean, I think there's a guy in Nashville, Tennessee who wants that job.
Yeah.
Getting BJ out of the league would be helpful for us because he's too good for this league.
Yeah.
But BJ,
I'll say this:
fine.
If I'm BJ Callahan, I'm not leaving that Nashville team until the end of the year, though. That team is a legitimate cup contender.
No, but that team is not healthy, and that team is like, if I were him and I can make a big payday, I'd go bounce.
Don't know. We'll see what's on offer. Maybe the U.S. will win the World Cup and Poch will want to stay. Maybe not.
There is zero chance that Pochettino is the head coach of the national team at the turn of the year.
I don't think he wants to be the head coach of the national team now.
No, he wants out. If Chelsea would have given him an offer, I bet he would have left.
But like he left Chelsea in a really weird way too.
I mean, he's left a lot of teams in a very weird way. That's kind of, I mean, that's part of coaching to some extent. At the same time, like, I don't know. The U.S. team just seems like such a mess going into the World Cup that I fully expect to get grouped. And I'm going to let it all the time.
We're not going to get grouped just because of the expanded format, but...
Yeah, I like this team could also go on a run to the quarterfinals, and it wouldn't surprise me. I feel like the range of possibilities, like, knock on wood, our biggest injury right now is Johnny Cardoso, who wasn't maybe not even going to make the team despite playing for that Eagle.
Our backline's totally fucked for me, so we'll see.
Our backline is screwed, but like that is because not necessarily because of injury. That is because we haven't developed enough center backs as a country. Those are different problems.
Yes, very different problems that Jurgen Klinsmann.
I mean, we also used to develop goalkeepers as a country, and we don't do that anymore either.
You know who has been shockingly good this season in MLS? Matt Turner.
Yep.
Been the best goalie in the league. Yeah, exactly. Novel idea. It's better to play in MLS than sit on a bench in England.
Not even sitting on the bench. He wasn't making match day squads.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that's going to be a whole shit show. I think we get out of the group and then we just get knocked around by someone. Kind of like last time. But we'll see, especially as things get closer. I'm sure we'll do some more in-depth World Cupping and when we get rosters and all that good stuff. I did see our good friend Danny Welbeck made the England initial 55 team. So you have to name like 55 players by this date that are eligible. And Danny Welbeck's on the England team.
One of Louis Van Gaal's many player mistakes.
As we go through this, it's looking as of today that both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Phil Foden are going to miss the England team. I propose that we have a draft of the rest of the countries in the world that could claim any bit of eligibility for these guys here. I mean, I don't know. It'd just be kind of fun to have them in the World Cup.
Foden's barely played all year. Pep's left him on the bench.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm going to be
also like I feel like the U.S. like Jack McGlynn's going to make the team because he just had 2 goals for Houston and already made a team and he has something that nobody else really has and like I do think it's gonna be interesting to see who kind of like the last like couple guys in the U.S. squad are.
Does Gozo make the team? Like,
See, I would 100% take him if I don't feel like I have enough creativity on the wing.
I just realized I'm going to be in an airplane during the U.S.'s first match.
I'm going to be actually. I'm doing. I'm going to the second match of the World Cup, South Korea versus Czechia and Guadalajara. The day after that, I am doing a 9-hour tour to Tequila, Mexico. So my tour gets back to Guadalajara right as that match kicks off, which will probably be the perfect state to watch USA Paraguay.
USA Paraguay is at 8 p.m. I have a layover in Minneapolis, so I think I might be able to catch some of the match.
But if you're on Delta, they should have a plane. They should have TVs.
Yeah, we'll be on Delta because I'm flying on.
Yeah, so if you have that, you have Fox, you have Telemundo, you'll be fine.
All right, I'll be good.
Yeah, now you have to watch it, dick.
Yeah, but yelling at the screen on the Delta plane, people with nobody else know what the hell's going on. I'm away to the college.
Yeah, I feel like those are good matches for like that's something that like half the plane will be in.
Except I'm going to be on a plane full of college baseball fans. Seth.
No, but like still, no. So okay, so Brad, the only time
can they chant USA though? I think those people would chant USA.
It's very you chant USA kind of crowd. Actually, that makes total.
No. So like. I'll give you two. So the only time I've been to Omaha was during the 2018 World Cup, and I watched the Mexico-Germany match of the group stage from one of the bars next to TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha, and that place was hopping. They were like, "There's live sports on at 10 a.m. on a Sunday before this." People were absolutely hyped. Actually, watching the World Cup in and around Omaha is actually very fun.
Yeah, I mean, the only catch is I think during most of the cup I have game tickets, so I'll be in the stadium.
No, but like you could like there will still be like random people watching on their phones. They'll be like screaming.
I'm sure I can probably yeah. But I have
no, but like it's actually a pretty cool atmosphere on that. And then the other thing, Devan, to ruin you, the best plane experience I've ever had of watching a game was the 2012 NCAA tournament, Norfolk State beating Mizzou. And an entire plane screaming all at one moment for that, which is just like March Madness upset on a plane. Watching that is very fun.
The only reason Kyle O'Quinn for Norfolk State is not a household joke name at this point is because Duke lost as a 2 seed later that same day.
Yes.
And it's always funnier when Duke loses. All right. Any other bits and bobs we want to get, or should we get out of here and get this out to the people?
We did have the Canadian football draft. I don't even know anyone that was taken into the Canadian football draft, but we are
Diego Pavia.
What's that?
Didn't they take Diego
No.
Pavia?
No. American players are not eligible to be drafted in the Canadian football draft. You can only there are 3 windows for selecting players into the CFL. The draft is only for players that were born in Canada or played Canadian college football. There is an overseas draft for all international players that are not Americans, and then you get selection rights for American players if they choose to sign in the CFL. But since Diego Pavia signed a contract with the Ravens, that at this point until he is cut from the Ravens, that he is not going to be playing for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
The preseason starts a week from today, just a heads up. So we're only about 3 weeks away from actual Canadian football season starting up. With
everybody get ready.
And I'm not okay with that. I'm still not okay with.
I mean, watch that instead of the World Cup.
I mean, I'm sure I will watch portions of it instead of the World Cup at times. So, somehow far less corrupt.
Yeah. Still not a fan of the rule changes, but
yeah.
What are you going to do?
No. Between that and honestly, it's been a busy month between some travel and things like that. Sports-wise, NHL playoffs are going on, which has been fun, at least for me.
Hurricanes haven't lost yet.
Who, what?
Hurricanes haven't lost yet.
Yeah, I was disappointed the Avs losing finally the other night. But
yeah, they got torqued, but they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're playing right now. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the game right now.
Yeah.
And then being in New York the other night while the Knicks were playing was kind of funny. So just because, Knicks fans are Knicks fans. There might not be
They should bring back Eddie.
Yeah, there might not be a more obnoxious group of fans in the world than when they're winning.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, people who are Knicks fans and Arsenal fans, I'm sorry, like that's just like the Spike Lee level combo there it's a little much.
Look, we've never claimed Spike Lee. Some people like him, but also every celebrity Arsenal fan is basically a fucking horrible person.
Y'all have Anne Hathaway. Calm down.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway's cool. But like Bin Laden, Piers Morgan, who I'm convinced actually hates Arsenal. But
Bin Laden was an Arsenal fan.
Yes, like
I want to say Jeremy Clarkson's an Arsenal fan.
Wouldn't shock me. I don't think so, but it wouldn't shock me. Clarkson's farm's good though, even if he's a twat.
Oh my god!
Look, he only punched that producer one time. Like
no. Clarkson is a Chelsea supporter.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, that makes more sense. Actually,
He's the benefactor of Chadlington FC, which sounds like it sounds like it's an X-rated movie rather than like an actual team.
Wait, he's a benefactor of who?
Chadlington FC.
Oh, no. That's just the local team in like the 28th division.
No, exactly. No, but this gets into like, is this England or Alabama category?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of
And the
England
answer
or
is yes.
Alabama, Devan, how was the trip to Dorking?
It was lovely. Dorking is a very lovely town, and I highly recommend it. I got a nice pub crawl recommendation, so I got to go to like a pub that's been there since the 1300s. Before the game and some cool shit like that. Dorking has a like microbrewery in town, makes some really good stuff. Stadium's nice. There's actually, you can't see it when we watch the live feeds, but there's like a church on a hill right behind it if you go on the other side of the stadium. So that was really cool. I actually got to sit next to the guy who does the commentary, so I had to be quiet for part of the game because I didn't want it coming through the mic too bad. But yeah, I mean, they got some new investment, and I hope anybody who goes over, talk to me, and I'll buy you guys tickets if you want to go down to the game. It's like a 30-40 minute train ride from Wimbledon. Not a bad jaunt at all. Great fans. It's a great time. Unfortunately, they lost when I was there, where they had like 9 XG and scored 1 goal. Ended up losing 3-1, but yeah, it was a good time.
So how many strikers and midfielders are you buying this offseason?
I'm not buying any. Scott's paying for all of them.
look, the new kit's available. If we buy enough of the new kits, we'll get another striker. That's the
But the big attraction is there's on the second floor of one of the like little makeshift buildings, there's like a club built in, like a fake little nightclub. So we went up there after the game, and it was like loud, and like the players came up for a little bit, and it was just like, I don't need to be here, but I could see why people would find this entertaining. Like there's a bar and a disco ball and a bunch of mirrors and shit.
Isn't that what they did at the old LA arena back in the day when they first built the Forum? Didn't it have a club with a disco ball and everything inside the arena?
Heck, Inter Miami at New Stadium has a DJ that plays to thousands of people on the stadium concourse after matches.
Well, we have that.
Yeah.
In the corner. There was literally like, though, at the Forum, there was a private club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's what you call it.
And nothing bad happened at the private club. Never. Nothing illegal. Nothing that painted a big news story. Nothing.
Nope. Nothing at all. I did also see.
So, last fun thing that I was thinking about today. So, do you know? You guys know this because you are good citizens of the world. What famous event happened on the day the last U.S. World Cup started?
94.
Oh, was that the OJ? The OJ?
Yeah, for Bronco, yes. So that was June 17th, 1994. Bill Clinton, Diana Ross, Oprah opening up the World Cup in Chicago. What crazy event on June 12th of this year is going to overtake that?
I don't know, and I don't want to, but I'm going to have to fucking live through it.
So there's a 30 for 30 documentary about that day.
Yes.
Because there's also a finals game, and I want to say a Stanley Cup game.
Rockets.
Yes.
No, it was Nick.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I feel like one of those things will be happening that day. And the other thing is that I don't know. It's tough to pick because our news cycle is such a like headline Mad Lib anyway. I don't know. You can go in a lot of different ways on this. I mean, obviously, there's one thing all of us are hoping for, which would be great. But I'm worried more. Based on news stories recently, I'm worried about where hantavirus is going to keep popping up.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't get hantavirus because you'll fucking die.
What if JD endorses a couch brand or something that day, or Couch announces its pregnancy?
Eric, the ball is in your court. Show us what you got. June 12th.
just
I feel like
Florida. I mean, honestly, Florida man's going to do something. They always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my worry, is that so many insane things are going to happen that we're not going to have like that one unifying OJ moment. It's just going to be like scattershot crazy.
Yeah, we can also just claim it's AI when it's happening now, too.
Yeah, that's a huge out. I don't like that politicians get that now.
Yeah. I was reading an op-ed today that in the first 4 paragraphs had 11 M dashes. And I'm like, I don't need to read the rest of this.
Nope.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for writing this column.
Yeah, exactly. Hugh Mann, author. All right, I don't think we're going to top that. So on behalf of Seth, Scott, and Brad, thanks for suffering with us. Bye.
Promise here for Austin Jarrett Stroud. It's Diego for goodness! He has written his name into Austin folklore. They just won't go away. Oh, he hits the upright again! That's impossible!
The Bears' season's going to end on a double doink.
Altidore squares it. Dempsey's missed it. Donovan has it. From hope, there is glory.